Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of the Quick Reload Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Scotty Kunavong, joined by Jared Joy.
How's it going, guys?
And Nick Malazzo.
What's up, everyone?
All right, so we haven't posted a video in a couple weeks, so let's jump into our new segment called Weekly Highlights. So, Nick, what's your weekly highlight?
So, my weekly highlight is going to be Shadows of War, mainly on the delay. It was originally supposed to be released back in August, but they delayed it to October now. It just goes to show maybe delays are going to be a common thing in this whole gaming era that we're in right now. Try to release a great game, and that was one of their topics. They're like, we don't want to release an unfinished game. We want to go full out. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're announcing games early. I feel like they want to try to boost their stock prices, and they're like, as soon as they announce that big game, then you see it all rise, and then as soon as they announce the delay, you just see it fall, like Rockstar's did, because that's the other big delay in the last 2 weeks, Red Dead Redemption 2. That's not 2 months, though. That's about 6 month delay, or possibly a little bit more. I mean, I know they're saying spring 2018, but for Rockstar, spring usually means like May. Yeah. So I'm expecting probably May next year.
Yeah, I mean, and with that, who knows if they're working on another game right now? There could be something that they're working on, and maybe they're delaying it, and maybe. I mean, I'd like to see spring anyways for Red Dead, and we're all hyped about it. So.
Yeah, I doubt that they're going to be working on another project when they delayed Red Dead. There has to be some reason. Maybe they just ran into some little bugs, or it could just be something internal that could have happened.
Layoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and for delays in general, like I think we're already at the point where it's pretty normal for games to be delayed, and I mean, I personally think that like they should do what Bethesda did with Fallout 4 when they announced at E3, and they're like coming out this fall. Like, I wish we saw that more often rather than coming out when it's done. Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but I mean, you don't want an unfinished product being put out. We see that too often already, like Mass Effect, and so I mean, delays aren't a bad thing. I just wish that we weren't hearing about games 2 years, 3 years in advance, and then just sitting and waiting forever for them.
And the funny thing with that, the Shadows of War, the trailer was leaked first, and it had the release date in the trailer. Then all of a sudden now they're coming out with, it's delayed.
Yeah, I'm guessing with that it was probably some like weird like licensing issue, or some like something weird when it's like a 2 month delay. Like
It's a Warner Brothers game.
The game's got to be right? Like almost done at that point. Like, yeah.
What other highlights do you have?
Another highlight I have is Far Cry. Far Cry, we can elaborate on this, but I recently just watched the trailer for it. Far Cry 5, by the way. And it looks great. I like how it's on American soil and in Montana. That's the coolest thing.
I thought it was really cool. Just to play a game where you're basically fighting a religious cult is kind of awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. I played Far Cry 3 and 4, and I mean, it's always like these crazy tropical or like mountainous environments, and when they said it was going to be in America, I was like, okay, I'm up for something different. And I mean, I don't think it's going to be too different. I think the format's going to be Far Cry. I don't think we're going to see much change there. But yeah, just I think it's going to be cool that they're bringing it here, and just going to see a lot of references to current times and political issues, stuff like that we're kind of seeing. So it should be interesting in seeing how they decide to go about all that. But I think they could do a really good job, or they could really screw it up.
Yeah. Did you guys see the petition that someone made for just only 1,500 online signatures to get them to cancel Far Cry 5?
I don't know who would ever sign that. I think they're paying people to sign that.
I know who would sign that.
On change.org. There's a petition on it, and it is ridiculous. If you read it, it honestly looks like a joke.
Yeah, and it's as when you first told me about this, I thought it was a joke. I didn't know it was actually serious because just watching the trailer, the last Far Cry I played through completely was 3. I mean, I tried 4. I tried a little bit of Primal, but I wasn't really like into it. But this one, like, I can see myself sitting there playing it, and then with the petition, I can just don't understand why somebody's going to, let's everyone sign this so we can cancel this game. I mean,
well, I can understand why it's a lot of touchy issues that they're trying to tackle right now.
but people shouldn't be so serious. It's a video game.
You know how people are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, are they going to handle it the right way? How are they going to do it?" I think it's just going to be a Far Cry game. You're just going to literally mow these people down with guns, like.
Yep.
And
I mean, it looks extremely.
Then you're gonna go to a zoo, and then you're gonna release an elephant or something and ride on its back with a machine
and
gun.
then PETA's going to come out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of like mountain lions and like whatever, bears and stuff. But like, there's not as many. I mean, that's one thing in Far Cry. There's always been all these different animals and like hunts and stuff like that. And I don't think there's going to be as many options for them to choose from to put in, at least to be realistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's got all the rest of the Far Cry you'd expect, all the different types of vehicles and planes, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing, the map is gonna be pretty decent size at that point. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. No. It definitely does look really good. Because just like Nick, I played Far Cry 3. I really liked it. Far Cry 4 didn't really hit home for me. I didn't play Primal just because it didn't look appealing at all to me. But this new one looks really good, and the trailer for it just got me so excited for it.
Yeah, just the whole, just watching it and like, oh wow, I've never been to Montana, but I can imagine people who are actually watch the trailer like, wow, I recognize these places. You know what I mean? So
That's my house.
yeah.
Is that my farm?
Cool.
Yeah.
So, my highlight of the week, it's kind of like last week, but Xbox Game Pass launched,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty cool. The came out June 1st. It's available now with a 14-day free trial to all Gold members, and it's access to over 100 games between Xbox One and 360 games, and it's $10 a month.
That's actually a really good price.
Yeah, so you are able to fully download the games onto your hard drive, play them as long as you keep paying, then you have access to those games. I know like Halo 5's in there, I think Gears of War Ultimate Edition's in there. A lot of their big titles that, I mean, not the brand new ones that just came out, but everything that's really over like a year and a half, 2 years old, like, they put in there. So
There's still new game. There's still games new to people who haven't played them. So
yeah, there's tons of
Yeah,
games in there that I've never played. So it really is a good deal. And as soon as I get through my backlog and there are some games I look through and I see that I want to play it, then I might actually, try it out and see how it goes. But
he says that now when Scorpio's coming out, in a few months. So
You see, Sony should have done that from the beginning, because I believe like this model that Microsoft is setting for just being able to download whatever game you want and play it. That's come out within the past was it 2 years, right?
yep.
That's really good, because on the PlayStation now, you can only do PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games. You can't get PS4 games on there.
Yeah. And then a good thing also about the Game Pass that I read is you don't need online. You don't need Xbox Live Gold to use the service. So if you don't have Gold, and say there's people who are like using it as a 4K player, the 1S, or just a streaming device, they can try out the 14-day trial and maybe get into using your console for
I
a
think
certain
you only
time.
get the 14-day trial if you're a Gold member, I believe. But you can still pay for the pass without being a Gold member. You just don't get the trial.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really good for the very casual gamer. Just like someone who pays $10 a month for Netflix, you pay $10 for this Game Pass, and it's just like maybe once or twice a month you just download a game, you feel like playing it. I think that's a really good idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then when Scorpio comes out, they'll have the 4K version. Like Netflix, you pay a couple more dollars a month and you get the 4K games.
Oh my god,
That'd be
I
too
would
much.
hate them so
Yeah,
much.
that'd be too much. Yeah, I mean, it was already a pain in the butt to get that for streamers, from the Netflix to watch the 4K Netflix. But yeah, I mean, the Game Pass looks pretty sweet.
I love the position that Microsoft's in right now because they understand that they're behind Sony, and that they need to do things.
Yeah,
And so many great ideas have been coming out and things they've been doing with just with different apps and hardware and stuff on the console, stuff like this. Like, I feel like if Microsoft's winning this generation, like early on, we don't see this stuff because they're not trying as hard because they're winning, they're making the sales.
yeah.
But at this point, like, they're trying new ideas and trying new things to try to boost sales, and I think a lot of good things are coming out of it. So I'm pretty happy with where Microsoft is with this generation right now. And the other big thing too is like they just changed the name of their new streaming game streaming, which it was Beam. That came out like a month ago, and then they switched to Mixer because of, I think, licensing reasons. But like, I just read that they're coming out with co-streaming, so you can invite people into your stream and do kind of like a 2, 3, or 4 player stream where people can view and watch all you guys at the same time, which is really cool. Like, no other service has done that yet.
Yeah.
Like that. So I mean, like I said, good ideas coming out of there, and they're trying new things. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? If they're behind in the generation they're in now, I mean, why not try it? You know what I mean? They got nothing to lose. So.
Yeah. I think it's great. Competition breeds excellence. So anything that Microsoft can dish out, it'll make other companies react to that.
Yeah, I can only imagine what's going to happen in 2 weeks. So we'll see.
Yeah, and then one more quick highlight. Square Enix is teaming up with People Can Fly, which is the studio that did Bulletstorm. And they helped with a couple other games. They helped with some of the Gears of War, like DLCs and stuff like that. They worked with Epic. So I know that Square Enix is supposed to be showing a new IP at E3. I don't know if it's actually going to be this one, because I think this is more newer news. But I think it's cool, like seeing like a Microsoft studio go over and work with another studio.
Yeah.
Interested to see what happens with that.
Yeah, no, that should be pretty interesting.
So what do you got for highlights, Scotty?
So for my highlights, first off, Monster Hunter Double Cross coming to the Switch. That's super exciting. I remember just pouring hours and hours into my 3DS playing Monster Hunter, and to be able to get it on the Switch is just gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Where I can finally be able to play a good version of it on my TV. Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for that because I never played Monster Hunter on the DS, so I can't wait. Like, I don't know. I'm excited.
A smart move. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nintendo did something right.
yeah,
I mean, you can just tell after they announced it, their stock jumped up to an 8-year high. So yeah, it's. I mean, it is still a port, right? Didn't this originally come
it's
out?
still a port. That's the one small problem I had with it. I want them to actually develop a new Monster Hunter specifically for the Switch in its own engine, not one that's just ported from the 3DS, because Monster Hunter Double Cross is a port from the 3DS version in Japan. It didn't come over to America.
Okay.
So at least it's still new to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least it's still new to me. Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be exciting to just bring that thing on the go. You know what I mean? I think that's gonna be great. So.
like the old Monster Hunters.
Well,
Where it was
yeah,
always
but
on the go?
I never had a 3DS, so like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just-
now you can finally play.
I'm gonna be
Now
excited
we
to play it, and
finally
then we
hunt
can all
monsters together.
yeah, we can meet up and all hunt monsters. We can go be eating outside and hunt monsters.
Eat a hot dog while you're playing Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me here take this Joy-Con. Let's share the joy here. So,
Okay. So my next highlight is an article from Kotaku where they talk about Smash players being burnt out just competing like week after week after week. They don't really get a break just because they're always trying to like climb up in rankings to get points for competitions, and some players just started to like have enough, and they want to create a union.
What?
Yeah.
So like I didn't hear about this news at all. So this is all new to me. So.
Yeah, so they want to make a players union. So which I think would be a good idea, just to have like an off season. Just because they do play year round. Whenever you're on Twitch or anything like that, you always see like Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Super Smash Bros. You'll always see them up there. Someone's always streaming them. There's always a tournament at some random Hobunk town, and and it's just like they don't take a break, and so they're working on just trying to get like a solid month to where they just have off time.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, and some of the players are just like, I'm just getting burnt out. Like I'm traveling every other day to another town to play a competitive match, and it's
Maybe they should just get good.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think they're just too good.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not as into that sort of competitive scene, so the whole thing kind of sounds ridiculous. I'm sure there's a lot of people it sounds ridiculous for, but I mean, if that's what they have to do in order to keep up with everyone else, I'm sure that does get frustrating if that's what they're trying to do. So
Yeah, because can you imagine just playing a fighting game for like just 9 months straight nonstop, and you had to travel to a state every other week, a new state every other week, and it's just like, I don't know.
You get your flyer miles. You get free flights. Shouldn't be complaining.
I'm probably driving.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It wasn't just with Smash though, right? Are they talking about it with other?
It was mainly for Smash, but it might look like it could be for more of a broad gaming scene. Like it could be like an off season for fighting games, and then you could have an off season for shooting games or whatnot, what have you.
Yeah. They should just go play Tetris. Take their mind off things.
Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
You know, Tetris is super hard.
It's okay. They'll complain about
Put
something
it on
else.
super slow mode and just watch it slowly drop.
Yeah.
Get like 30 seconds to pick each piece.
Mm-hmm.